Well, David, you've written some pretty impressive screenplays. Of course, you've written Batman and Blade and the likes of Man of Steel coming up as well. How different was this a project for you to base it on someone who's such a well-known character with such a historical sort of history, really?
It wasn't as different as you might think. I mean, it's true, Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent, they're fictional characters, and Leonardo da Vinci is a historical figure. But there's quite a bit that's not known about him, and also he's a very mythic figure. I mean, almost everyone in the world knows who he was. He's recognized by them, and he exists in this mythic place in our minds. So, in a way, the show, it's about Leonardo da Vinci, but it's also about our myth of Leonardo da Vinci, and it's why one of the lead characters says, you know, centuries from now, your own history, you know, will be distorted and changed around.
And it's the first time it's kind of made onto a TV series.
Yes.
Was that a daunting task for you?
Well, daunting in that you're trying to depict probably the greatest genius that ever lived. So whoever you cast to play Leonardo da Vinci has to be pretty incredible, and the scripts have to be pretty smart. So it's no small feat to write scenes for, you know, the greatest mind ever.
And there's a lot of information as well in the public domain, the journals and things.
Sure.
Did you base that on your experience to sort of
come
up with the idea?
I did. I read every single page of his journals that exist.
Every page?
Yeah, there's about 6,000 pages that exist.
Blimey.
I mean, some of them are drawings,
so
it was a little easier. But the interesting thing for me as a creator is that he was known to have had about 13,000 pages, and so 7,000 pages have gone missing over the centuries. So part of the show is also, you know, what happened in those missing 7,000 pages.
And some of the history includes sort of his sexual activity and some stuff that has been reported in the press as well. Does that come into the series? Have you mentioned that and brought that into it?
Yeah, we hint at it a little in the first episode, and we'll be dealing with it later on in the middle of the season. And I've not wanted to completely spoil what it is that we're going to be doing. Some people have said, oh, you know, they're chickening out. They're not going to go there into that controversy, but it was a big part of his history, and we're absolutely going to be dealing with it in the first series.
Fantastic. And you've had a set in Swansea, you've worked at Margam and some of the castles and things around as well in Castell Coch. Was it
That's amazing. I can't pronounce any Welsh words.
Was it difficult? Because I guess, I mean, on sets that you've had in the past, rain and the adverse weather is going to play a big impact on your filming schedule.
It definitely did, even more so than we thought it would. I think we had the worst rains in recorded history in Wales. Wales already gets a lot of rain. I had a lot of rain gear when I came, and I bought even more rain gear. But we've just been commissioned the other day for a second series, and we won't be caught out in the rain probably, hopefully, quite so much this time.
But of course, keeping the set in Swansea and keeping filming in Wales.
We're going to be shooting in the Swansea Bay area, around Neath and Port Talbot and Cardiff, and a bit in the Gower.
Brill. And we've had a chance to speak to Tom. How difficult was it to cast someone like Tom? Was it a difficult process? Did you see a lot of people?
We did. We saw over 500 people. We saw some people that were fairly well known and a lot of unknowns. And I was actually getting nervous that we might have to push filming because we hadn't found, I thought, the person to play Leonardo yet. And then one day he walked through the door, and that was that.
That was that. And do you sort of pencil down how the season's going to work before you actually start going for the green light for the second series?
Yeah. Well, we had a rough indication of where the second series was going to go, even as we were starting out the first series. Without giving too much away, people will see when they see the end of the first series that they're going to hope that we knew where we were going.
And for someone who's worked in television and film, how different was it for this sort of series on television for you to work on the likes of Batman compared to Da Vinci's Demons?
I mean, to a certain extent, filmmaking is the same whether you're making a low-budget film or a television series or a giant, you know, mega blockbuster. But I mean, I think one of the things that was different is it's a serialized story, so it's really an 8-hour movie. And that was very complicated because the production, you know, period was very long. I mean, I think we shot over 7 months. Yeah. So it was kind of a marathon. And
as well as Da Vinci's Demons, you working on anything else at the moment? There's talk of different sort of computerized games being made and stuff. What's next for you?
The biggest thing on my plate right now is trying to get ready for Series 2 of Da Vinci, and then in a few weeks I have to go back to the States and start doing some press for Man of Steel, which I wrote.
And of course, that's all in the Superman. Is that quite an exciting another comic for you to be involved with?
That is. I'm very happy with that film. It turned out great.
Brilliant. Well, David S Goyer, your new series, of course, with us, starts on our screens tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Best of luck.
Yep.
And I'm sure we'll be seeing you and the cast around South Wales in the next coming few weeks.
We plan to.
Brilliant. Thanks again.
Thank you.